Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Ask Me Monday. I am your host, Vicki Howell, and this is episode 60. 60! I can't believe that we've been doing this for this long, and I'm so thrilled to be here with you this week, as I am every week. Thank you to those of you who have been with me along the ride for the past 59. And extra thanks, not extra, equal. Thanks to those of you that might be tuning in for the first time this week. So every Monday at 12 Central, I'm in my home studio in Austin, Texas. I'm here asking questions live and showing you some form of DIY tutorial. Usually there's a knit or crochet aspect to it, but I love me all crafts, so it could be anything. And today, I am here courtesy our friends over at Tuesday Morning. I don't know where you're watching in the world, but Tuesday Morning is this great retail spot that offers all kinds of brand name goods for, discounted prices. They get sort of second run things or overstock. So really great stuff for kind of any budget. I go to a store here in Austin, but they've got them all over the place. And they gave me sort of free reign to go into their store, specifically into the craft aisle, but I did kind of tiptoe into some of their other departments. They have home departments and toy departments and, all kinds of good stuff to make a couple of Valentine projects. The first one I'm going to show you here today live. And I love seeing all of you that are watching live right now, telling me where you're watching from. Oh my goodness, Teresa from New Zealand. So nice to see you. Colby from San Antonio, just up the road from me. Please continue telling each other where you're watching from. I really feel like it's amazing to see somebody from Texas and someone from New Zealand speaking back to back, spending time together, continents away from each other. So keep doing that. So as I was saying, the first project I'm going to show you live today, and then as of tonight, this is live on the 6th of February. As of tonight on the Tuesday Morning blog, I will have a second Valentine's themed project for you. So there's going to be a whole lot of love for you, courtesy of the Tuesday Morning folks today. So what we're going to be making are, first of all, do you know what a galentine is? I kind of thought everybody knew what it was, but then I realized it could just be like a nerdy thing that I'm into. And so I just want to make sure. So however you feel about Valentine's Day, whether you have a sweetheart or you don't have a sweetheart, it doesn't mean that you can't participate. Some of the best love that we have in our lives are our friendships. And so there's a little something that took off a few years ago called Galentines. And I think it might have actually been started on the TV show Community, but don't quote me on that. And what Galentines are just Valentines for your girlfriends, for your gal pals, right? So I went down the aisles of Tuesday Morning to see what I could make Valentines out of, and specifically ones for my girlfriends. And so I found a ton of stuff, and I'm going to go over what all of the stuff is, and then at the end in the show notes after we're done recording, I'll post all of the prices, the compare it prices, and everything that I used in here. And so you can kind of riff based on what your own store has. So here is my version of a galentine. Now this is going to be backwards now, I'll show you because this is a front-facing camera. So all it is it's scrapbooking paper, laminated. I got a laminator at the Tuesday Mornings, kind of excited about that, with holes poked in it, and then I added a crocheted edging. I added a little message. This one says, "You're the wind beneath my friendship wings." But you can kind of do anything that you want, your own personal message, song lyrics. I have a bunch that I've chosen, and I'll show you when I flip the camera over so you don't have to read backwards, or a personal message, or we can talk about just sort of like go-tos. I love you, bestie, that kind of thing. All kinds of things that we can do. So I'm going to do this in two parts because it's just me as the camera woman, and it'll take a little bit of, since I don't have anybody to follow me with the laminator, I'm going to do probably the laminator, and then I'll flip it over and show you how to make the whole heart, the whole galentine. So first off, you want to go to the store and you want to find some scrapbooking paper. I really liked this pad from K & Company, just because these colors are super on trend right now. These like pastel pinks and kind of light blues. But I also found by K&Company. This is the Kelly Panacci paper. A bunch of different tablets there. So what you can do is you can just find whatever paper makes you happy, and from there you can decide on a theme. This one has all kinds of fun little patterns in it, and I'll flip the camera around and show you how that works. And then once you choose your paper, you're going to laminate it. So that's where I'm going to start you off today. Actually, first thing that you're going to need to do is have a heart pattern. Now, you can just freehand it, or there are a ton of, I actually just went to Canva, which is just a website, like a graphics website. I'm sure PicMonkey would do the same thing, anything like that. And they usually have a hard overlay. And I just set the measurements for about 6 inches either way, and I printed it out. And then I use that as my heart pattern. So, you need that to get started, and then you need your paper. I went ahead and cut them small, just based on the size of that other pad that I had. But as long as the page is small enough to go through the laminator, which is really just kind of your standard printing paper, it'll work. So what I'm going to give you today is just a general recipe. You can do this, you can make little small ones, like if you wanted to do this for your child's, school class or whatever, or you could do ones up to, if you're laminating, you could do it up to a regular paper size, like this big part. If you're not laminating, you can, there's no limits as big as the paper is. I will say this though, I wouldn't do the crochet edging unless you either laminate or find hard cardstock. If you do cardstock, I might also consider using those little hole reinforcers that you can get for like notebook paper. Otherwise, you're going to end up ripping your galentine, and that would be a sad face. So let's get started. We're going to jump in, and the first thing that you want to do is you want to decide on your paper. I'm just going to start with this. This has little cameras on it, and because I like a theme, I'm going to see if I may not have it. Okay, so I was going to use one that said, "You're a picture perfect friend," but I'm going to move on to something else because I can't find what I did with that. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to lay your pattern on, and you're going to trace around it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera over and just show you all this overhead because I think it'll be easier, and then you don't have to read backwards like I said. This, for those of you that are new to this thing, this is the part that's not so pretty because I have to do the little flip facing. You'll probably see some of my hand. You might see my messy studio, but it's a great time for you guys to talk to each other and share what projects you're making for Valentine's Day. We are a community here. We love to feed off of each other's ideas, so talk amongst yourself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the flip. Okay, there was my studio a little bit. All right, so first, let me get set up. You're going to take your paper. I'm going to go ahead and move some of this out of the way. And set your pattern on top of it. I love seeing all these names scrolling through. Hi, Corey. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Chris. Good to see you as always. All right, so then you would just take your, pencil or whatever, and you would just trace it. You want to do this before you laminate. Okay, so I've done that on this other piece of paper. And this piece of paper, it has, this came from that pad that I was showing you, the Kelly Panacci pad. So I traced my heart on it, and now I want to choose from a bunch of messages. I did a bunch of them. You've got a friend. I like song lyrics. If you just Google song lyrics that have to do with friendship or love, a bunch will come up. So I did You Got a Friend. I did I Can Tell We're Gonna Be Friends, which is from I think a White Stripes song. You already saw You're the Wind Beneath My Friendship Wings. I used You Can Stand Under My Umbrella. If I find umbrella paper, that one, that Rihanna song lyric is going to go for somebody because it's amazing. Okay, this one is also from a song, and it's You Can Count on Me, like 1, 2, 3, I'll Be There. I think it's a Bruno Mars song, if I remember correctly. Goes perfectly with my number paper, right? So all you want to do, I should mention, I tried printing this out on just regular computer paper. it rippled a little bit in the laminating process. So if you can, I would just go ahead and print it on regular white cardstock or whatever color your printer, whatever makes your whole heart happy. And then I'm just going to take a regular glue stick and glue it on. And kind of center it the way, or put it wherever you'd like it to be. Okay, this is when the laminator comes in. So I'm going to kind of move the camera a little bit. So laminators often are heat-based, which is great. I actually quite like those, but this one that they have at Tuesday Morning is awesome because it's really good if you're working with kids. There's zero heat. There's no plug, there's no batteries, none of that. So you just stick in your paper, and you want to make sure that it'll fit. This piece of paper is a little bit too big, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it. And then stick it into the back. I want to make sure that my lyrics are flat so they don't get caught up. And then I'm just going to set this right here. Hopefully this will work. And then you just turn the handle. Isn't that cool? This would be so great with kids. I promised my daughter when she got home from school today that she could use this machine. And then there's a little like cutter thing that you slide through. And that's it. Look at that. Isn't that so fun? So now you've laminated it, which means that it'll be strong enough to hold the crochet edging that I'm going to show you how to do. So from here, hi Pearl from Canada. So from here, you need to just cut out that heart. So I'm going to go ahead and move my machine out of the way just to give me a little bit of breathing room. And I'm going to bring in a heart, since I believe in you all and know that you probably don't need to watch me cut out the heart. You'll get something that looks like this. So one thing I should point out is that you don't need to leave any extra edging at all. You can cut right around it and it works, okay? So from here, what you want to do is you want to take a marker and a measuring tape, and you want to measure equidistant around. I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. And you want to create dots. These dots are going to be where you're going to be punching the holes in later. And then what I did is I kind of figured out, it would depend on the weight of your yarn, but I'm using about a sport weight yarn. I am doing a little over 1/4 of an inch. And you just take your marker and you mark the dots. All the way around. Okay, once you've done that, and just fun fact, if you use, I'm just using like a regular marker, and they sell tons of markers in the aisles at Tuesday Morning. What's awesome about it is if you make a mistake, like if you make one that's maybe too close to the edge, look, it wipes right off. It's almost like a dry eraser marker. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, from here, what we want to do is we want to put our holes all the way around it. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. This is a crocodile, and it's made for setting in rivets and punching holes, and it has different settings. Well, I didn't know this when I got it because I've been wanting one forever, and I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to spend the money. And then I found one on Tuesday Morning, and it was super affordable, so I got it. And it's got these different settings, these little cubes. See, they turn around. And this one, I had no idea. It just worked out. Was exactly the size of hole that needed to be that I could fit a size G crochet hook in. So that was just like one of those things that was meant to be. So you want to go ahead and get it to the setting that worked. A regular hole puncher would work too, but you'd need to make sure that not a regular size one. It needs to be smaller, depending on how small of hook and how fine of yarn works. You'd have to kind of just play around with that. Okay, so from here, you're just going to poke holes all the way in it. So I slide it in And you can see a little hole is made. And you're just going to do that all the way around, okay? So from there, we're going to start introducing yarn. So they have tons of yarn in the yarn aisle. I think that this is a nice sport weight. I think that that makes a really nice edging. So I used a different color sport weight for the one that I showed you in the beginning. But you know, you can kind of just improv if you'd like. It depends on what you know, that's the great thing, is that you can go and you can see what inspires you, what materials inspire you. So I started, actually I'm going to use this one just to show you how to get started. So pretending that there's holes all the way around here, to attach the yarn, you're going to take your, this is why I was so jazzed when I'm such a craft nerd. I was so jazzed when I figured out this crocodile did this. Look at this. What? What's that? My hook fits perfectly. So then you're just going to take a slip knot, slip it on your hook, pull it through, and from here I'm going to chain. And in the show notes, I'm going to post links to videos to remind you how to chain and how to single crochet, which I will be using here. And I'll also post the recipe for this the semi pattern that you can use and kind of make work for yourself for this little edging. Okay, so I chained one, and that has it attached. And you want to chain so you have 4 chains. Those 4 chains are going to count as a single crochet and as the chains that you need for a picot stitch. Oops, I'm sorry. Actually, we're not doing that. We're going to establish ourselves. We're doing a row of single crochet, and then we're going to do the picot edging. So that means we just need the chain 1. A chain 1 will give you the height of a single crochet. Okay, now that I've shown you how to attach it, I'm going to bring one in that I've already kind of worked on. This is my besties than all the resties version. So I have a different version. So I'm going to show you how, actually, let me pull one out. So what I'm doing all the way around is I'm doing a single crochet and then a chain 1. The chain 1 kind of accommodates for that space in between. I could have done less of a space in between and ditched the chain 1, but frankly, I was worried about getting that. I was worried about my own aim with the crocodile and that they would get too close and then it would be like this big gaping hole and then it would all be over. All right, so to single crochet, you're going to insert your hook into the hole, yarn over, pull through. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, pull through both. Okay, so now your yarn's attached and you've got really pretty edging. And honestly, this would be pretty just as it is. Then we're going to chain 1, and that's just getting our space. You're going to do that all the way around as I have. So I started here and I worked all the way around. I joined it up here as I showed you before. The chain is counted as that single crochet. I did single crochet, chain 1 all the way around until you get to the point of the heart, the end. So what you need to accommodate the curve of the point, that doesn't make sense. What you need to do to accommodate the point is you need to work 3 stitches or 3 stitch sets right there. So to do that, I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, 2, and whoops, that was too many yarn overs, and a 3rd time. And you can see what that does is that just sort of covers, that gives you a nice, it turns the direction of your crochet. Hi Alexis, hi Pearl, great to see you. All right, and so you're going to just continue. Did I chain 1? I don't know if I chained 1. Nope, I did not. You're going to continue that all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to show you how to get started on the next round. Oh, I just realized I had a whole other one I could have showed you this first round on. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and continue to tell each other where you're watching from and also what ideas for Galentines you have or just Valentine's projects in general. Oh, a little fun fact from Colby saying that Tuesday mornings used to only be open on certain Tuesdays of each month, and that's how they got their name. Fun fact. Okay, I'm going to just continue and let you all talk amongst yourself, going all the way around. I've done this. I've made smaller versions that I've added to a Valentine's wreath. If you had a big, huge piece of cardstock, you can make a ginormous one. And, you know, this doesn't have to just be for your gal pals. I just figured that the frill might be a little more gal pal friendly, but who am I to oppress anybody's taste? So you could definitely, like if you had a, you know, your first song, or maybe the song you danced to at your wedding or whatever, if there was lyrics to that, you could print those out and add it to a package for your man, or, you know, whatever. Now, if you wanted to use a small hole punch and make very small ones, I would skip this first single crochet round, and I would do an embroidered blanket stitch. And if you don't know what that is, just, you know, Google it or whatever. And I would embroider all the way around. And then from there, you use those stitches and you could pick up for the second row or the second round, which would be the decorative round, which I'm about to show you. Okay, so I went all the way around, and now what I want to do is I need to join the round by slip stitching. And now I'm ready to start again. Okay, so this is the second round, and what this round is going to do, that was our establishing round. What this round is going to do is give you these pretty little frillies, and this is made by a series of picot stitches, which I'll show you, and then chains, which will give you almost that lacy effect. Okay, so, and again, if you missed this before, I'll post the instructions for this in the show notes. So now I'm going to chain 4. The chain will count as your first single crochet and also the chains for the picot stitch. So now we want to slip stitch in the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, that's right here. Slip stitch, and to slip stitch you just insert your hook, yarn over, and you pull it through both loops. And that is what creates the little nubbin. See that little tiny picot nubbin? There you go. And then we're going to do a chain 1, and that's just to give us the space. And we are going to we're going to ignore the chain 1 from below, and then we're going to work in this single crochet next. So we're going to work a single crochet, and I found that with this sort of laminated paper, instead of, if you crochet normally, you would go under both loops. I found that it was easier just to go through the back loop, but it's completely up to you. You do you. So I'm going to work a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then from here, I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then to create that picot, I'm going to slip stitch in the first chain, or the third chain from the hook rather. There's your picot. Chain 1, skip 1 chain, and then you're going to repeat the process again. I'm just going to show you one more time. So I've single crocheted, I'm chaining 3, I'm slip stitching into the third chain from the hook, chaining 1. And you're just going to do that all the way around, and it gives you such a cute little effect. And then at the end, chains how I've already shown you. Let me move this one in. Before you join the round, you'll just chain about 20 or however long. This is if you want an ornament out of it, or if you want them to be able to hang them on a bulletin board or a refrigerator or whatever. You just add about 20 chains. Will give you a nice loop. Slip stitch that at the bottom, and then you'll join your round. And that's how it works. It's really fun. You can do a whole collection that go together. I mean, that's pretty Instagram happy, don't you think? Thank you for being a friend, besties to the resties, like I was saying before, all kinds of fun things. Now, the other thing that you can do if you want to not print out messages is that you can, I also found these stamps and stamp pads in the aisles of Tuesday Morning. So you could also take some cardstock, and I like to just rip it, and then it gives it kind of a cool, kind of aged effect. But if you're not into messy, then you can use, like I did for the others, you can use pinking shears or straight scissors, whatever makes you happy. And there are these little like ink pastels that you get. And you could just decide what you want to say. Like if I was making one for not my galentine, but my Galentine, I might do like V plus D. My husband's name is Dave, so there's that. If you're for your Galentine, you could just do BFF or whatever. You could, whatever message you want, but you could stamp it. And that gives it a whole other layer of craftiness, which I love, love, love. And that is really all there is to it. It's super fun and easy, and all of the stuff you can find just in the aisles of Tuesday Morning. All right, I'm going to do a quick turnaround. So I'm going to do a quick scroll through the comments and see if there's anything that I missed, any questions that I missed. But in the meantime, oh, it's not letting me scroll. Okay, so I guess I'm not scrolling. If you have any questions, please just post them in the comment section, whether you're watching live or watching the recorded version, and I will do my best to jump on and answer them for you. And I would love, love, love to see your Galentines made. So make sure that you tag at Tuesday Morning and at Vicki Howell if you make them, because we love seeing the community making stuff. And then later, I'm going to show you what else. If you log on to the Tuesday Morning blog later, you can also see my pucker up pillowcases, his and hers. So these are kind of luxurious pillowcases. I don't know about you, but if you've been together for a long time, it's like the little things, the subtleties that seem the most romantic. And so this is a bamboo pillowcase. It is so luxurious. It's normally like $100 set, and I found it at Tuesday Morning for like 20 bucks, and it's lovely. And then using some supplies from their craft area, I made his or her little lip appliques just for kind of like a sweet little treat in the bedroom. So make sure that you go over to the Tuesday Morning blog and you can see all instructions for that, and look in the show notes area of this video for all of the product info as well as instructions on the crochet edging. So that's it. Happy Valentine's Day. Ask Me Monday is going to be off for a couple of weeks while I work on a couple of really exciting projects, but I will be back on the 27th, February 27th, with more awesome craftiness. It's yarn related, shocker. So make sure that you tune in then. If you liked this episode, please share it. Word of mouth is key for a community like ours. So share it, tell a friend, and if you're interested in some other great tutorials, please go to my videos playlist. There's an Ask Me Monday playlist on my Facebook page under videos, and you can see 59 other tutorials like this. Thank you once again for being here. Sending love out to you today, Valentine's Day, and really every day. Bye. Have a great rest of your week.